Hello students, a warm welcome in the online class. So previously we have done that how many types of motions are there, what is the two conditions of motion. Like first I have told that one is stationary motion and another it will be that moving motion. So whenever any particle or any object it will be not moving, then we will tell as it will be the stationary condition. Okay, so we need to remember that there are two conditions. One is stationary and another is moving. Okay, so based on these two types of the condition of an object, we can divide the types of motion like that. We can say some particle or some object, whenever we are going to whenever we are traveling in a car, that will be in the straight line. So that is I have told the rectilinear. Like that, whenever we are taking the turn in the road, it will be the curvilinear. So different types of motion we have already learned. Now in this section we will do the rotation versus revolution. Okay, so what is the meaning of rotation? Just one idea we have that what is the rotatory movement. Some object along its axis, whenever suppose it is one football, imaginary axis I am drawing here. So with the respective of this axis, whenever the football it will turn along with the axis, that is we are telling rotatory movement or the rotatory motion. So this rotation we have known previously, but what is the revolution, that is today we will be learning. And one thing we will be learning, that the relation between the rotation and the revolution. Okay, so everyone keep your copy beside with you, and like that whatever the heading, along with date you will be writing rotation versus revolution. Okay, otherwise you can write rotation and revolution. Okay, just write the heading. This is also we have done that when a body moves in a circular path, already we have discussed previously, it is said to be a circular motion. So whenever see the picture, a boy, he is rotating something, means he is holding some string, and with the string some stones or whatever any object it is, hold it together tightly, and he is just rotating this one. So this is the axis. Who is in the center? He, that means this student like you. Okay, so this is the axis, and along with axis some object it is rotating. So this type of movement we are telling as the circular movement or the circular motion. Throughout its motion, the distance of the body of the center remains the same. That means what? The body, whatever the axis distance means the center, and along with the string, whatever the stone it is there, that distance always it will be same, remaining same. Suppose if it is the circle, here if it is the axis, like that. Okay, so if here some particle it is moving, so this center and the object, this distance it will be always remain constant, the distance between the axis and the object. Okay, are you clear this one? Now we have come a new thing, that is the rotation. Rotatory motion we have written, but what is rotation, that is we have not written. So better you write down in the copy. What is the rotation? Look at the ceiling fan in your classroom. So it is the online class, so I hope in your home the fan it is there, ceiling fan. So otherwise in any case of the that stand fan also you can focus. So any type of fan if you have beside you, just you focus, and can you see it is rotating? Obviously, with the help of the axis, this is the axis, this one. This is the axis, and this type of movement, it will be the rotatory movement, means the self body. Here the object is what? Object is the fan. So fan itself, it is rotating. That is why it is known as the rotatory movement or the rotation. If we were to imagine a line about which the fan rotates, that means what just now I was discussing, I am just drawing one imaginary plane over here, this one. This is actually known as the axis, center of the fan we are imagining. So this is along with the axis, whenever any object it is rotating along its axis. Remember the difference between circular motion and the rotatory motion. Rotatory motion means always the object, suppose if it is object, if it is the axis, it will be moving along its object. But whenever with the help of the axis, the object, it will be moving far distance away from the object axis, then it will be known as the circulatory motion. Okay, this is the vital point. The circulatory, where the circulation or where the rotation it will be applied. Okay, so remember these two things, circulatory motion or the rotatory motion. Another example here, it has been given to you. The earth is also rotating about an imaginary line that passes through its center. So along its axis also, the earth, it is rotating itself. So if you imagine the earth as an object, with the help of the axis, see here the red dotted line, it is the imaginary plane, imaginary axis. So with the help of the axis, it is also rotating itself, right? So this is like that, it is rotating along with axis. So it is also one example of the rotation. Here what it is telling us, this line about which an object rotates is called its axis. Okay, so the question is, write down in the copy, what is the imaginary plane or the axis? What is the imaginary plane or the axis of an object? So what you will write down, the line about which an object rotates. Otherwise you can write the imaginary line along with the line which object it will be rotating, that is also known as the axis. Okay, a fan rotating, the earth rotating, both are also doing the same thing, doing the same, whatever I can say, doing the same activity. Okay, a very good example of the rotation, wherever some lattu like structure, one, whatever I can say, the playing something, right? So we can play with the help of this. This is actually known as the spinning thing, spinning toy. So when a body spines, spine means just it is rotating about an imaginary line that passes through it, it is said to be rotating. This imaginary line is said to be the axis of rotation. Remember that what is the axis of rotation? With the imaginary line, what is the imaginary line? The line of the center, right, of an object. The center line, what we can imagine, that is known as the axis. And if the object along its axis, it will be rotating, then only it will be known as the axis of rotation. Remember that two things, what is the axis and what is the axis of rotation. Okay, so along with the axis it is rotating, then only we are telling it is axis of rotation. Okay, we will read what is the revolution. So when one body moves around one another in a fixed path, the good example of the earth around the sun. So in the picture right hand side also you can see, in the middle portion the sun is there. Okay, so along with the sun, that means it is that whatever the planet orbit, So inside the center portion, the sun is there. So along the sun axis, the earth, it is rotating. Okay, earth is the rotating, and it is showing also the circular movement. How it is? Just I am showing. Suppose if it is the earth, then with the imaginary plane, it is also rotating itself. Along with this, it is also rotating or changing the placement in the same orbit. Again the earth, it has come in this portion. Here also it is rotating, and again it will change its place. So this full incident or full whatever I can say the movement, we can say it is as the revolution. So again I am coming back to the definition. When one body moves around another in a fixed path, the orbit, it is not changing, but the movement, it is changing. Movement means the earth's movement. It is said to be the revolving around the other body. Other body means here it means the sun. Along with the sun, the earth, it is rotating. Okay. So this is known as the revolution. So in the copy, you will write down what is the revolution, and better I am suggesting you to draw this picture so that in future you can be remember that what is the revolution, what is the rotation, or what is the difference between rotation, circular motion, everything just note in your copy. Okay. Now the time is to check for understanding. Whatever we have learned in this chapter, just we will ask some question and you will tell me true or false. Okay. When any object is moving in a circular motion, it will always remain at the same distance from the center of its motion. Is it correct or not? Obviously it is true. Question number 2. Any object in a revolution is in a circular motion. Yes or not? Not only the circular motion, it can be the whatever epibola orbit also it is founding. So always it will be not the circular motion. I think so. So let's check the answer. And 3, the axis of rotation always passes through the center of the rotating body. This is also false. Let's check the answer. First one I said it is true. Second one I said that it is false, because an object can revolve in an elliptical path as well, not only the circular. And the 3, whatever I can say, false. The axis of rotation can pass through any point of the rotating body. It does not necessarily have to pass through the center. That means whenever the earth is rotating in its orbit, that is also one axis. It can be in the sun also, it can be possible to make one axis. So not only in the center but also in the other portion or other position also it may be possible. So it will be the false. Now different kinds of motion in the same body. How it will be? Can you tell me the types of the motion that ball is exhibiting? You are thinking it will be rectilinear, right? So the ball is moving forward as well as the rotating. Okay, so ball, it will be rotating and moving forward also. So as it is moving forward, it is said to have the rectilinear, and whenever it is rotating, it is said to be rotational motion. So let's see another examples. What type of motion does the earth exhibit? That means in one object, more than one motion also we can visit. In case of this type of the orbit, the earth rotates about its axis, that is the rotational movement or rotational motion, and whenever it is surrounding the sun, it will be the periodic or revolution. So two motions means more than one or more than two motions it can be possible. This one I am giving as the homework in your book. Practice question 7.1, 7.2, 7.3, 7.4 and 7.5. I think 5 questions are there in your book. So it will be just your homework. So I will check on tomorrow. Okay. So still that, you stay tuned with this online class. Be happy. Take care all of you. Have a good day.